Hey, how you doing YouTube? I'm back in the video, and today I'm talking about why the Boston Celtics could be or are the next Golden State Warriors. Now, obviously, no team is going to be able to replicate the exact thing as Golden State, and I don't think that they're going to completely replicate everything Golden State was able to do, but I'm getting to why I think they could be just as dominant in the future, why they could, they're built the same way, they kind of came up the same way, and just all the similarities between them that are kind of proving that they could definitely be very dominant and be that type of dynasty the Golden State Warriors are right now. So without further ado, without rambling on too much, let's get right into this video. Alright, so the first reason I have for this video is going to be they have an all-star starting lineup. Both teams have completely beastly starting lineups, as they both have pretty much all-stars in every position, as obviously the Golden State Warriors have Steph, Clay, KD, Draymond, and DeMarcus Cousins all in their starting lineup, and they're all top of their positions. Beast of players like Curry's top 2 probably point guards in the league, Klay Thompson's top 5 shooting guards, KD top 2 small forward in the league, Draymond top 5 power forward, Cousins possibly the best in his position. So I mean, and you could make an argument for Kevin Durant and Steph Curry also being the best in their position. So I mean, you just have to look at it. The Golden State Warriors have a beast of a starting lineup, nothing but just talent on talent, and they are all former All-Stars and most likely be all All-Stars this year. And there really has been for a while no team that can rival that, and their starting lineup was just so talented they could get by and win games off of pure talent alone. But now that the Boston Celtics are coming along, they're starting to kind of rival that starting lineup, as they already have 3 former All-Stars in Kyrie, Gordon Hayward, and Al Horford. All 3 of them have been very good. Al Horford is an extremely good veteran who continues to keep playing at a high level. He might fall off a little bit this year, but I still think he'll be an All-Star level player. Gordon Hayward, who had an All-Star before he got injured, probably would have been an All-Star again last year if he didn't get injured. Kyrie's going to be an All-Star this year. I mean, the dude's top 5 in his position. But then you also have 2 players like Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, who will most likely be future All-Stars. Jason Tatum is probably going to be an All-Star this year, if not this year, the next year. And then Jaylen Brown, I'm sure he'll get a couple All-Stars in his career as well. They're both very young players, have a ton of upside, and I wouldn't be surprised if they become absolute beasts. And when you just really look at the star talent on both sides, I mean, Kyrie, Steph Curry, 2 top 5 point guards. Gordon Hayward, Kevin Durant. Now, obviously, Kevin Durant's a much better player, but 2 top 10 in their position. Al Horford, DeMarcus Cousins, top 5 in their position, top 10 in their position. And then Jason Tatum will probably end up being one of the best 4 or 3. I don't know if they really start 2 threes. Jason Tatum will probably end up being a top 10 3 one day in the league. Jaylen Brown could end up being a top 3, 4, top 5, 4 or anything in his position. So I mean, they're both going to be able to develop a lot, and their star talent is very good. And their Boston Celtics are really the only other team in the league that really rivaled the star talent on their starting rosters. Because when you compare them, star talent is very close, and you can't say that for a lot of teams when you're comparing them to the Golden State Warriors. But then my second reason is going to be their strength in numbers. As I mean, just the 2 most dominant years were the 2014 through 2016 season for the Golden State Warriors, where they had a combined record of 140 and 24. They won 140 games in a 2-year stretch and only lost 24 of them. That is unbelievable, as most teams will lose way more than 24 games a year. But the Golden State Warriors, it took them 2 years to lose 24, so obviously they were dominating the NBA at this point. They were brand new, no one really knew how to handle them, and I mean, yeah, they had great benches to do this. As I mean, just look, in their first finals that they had ever won, their bench consisted of people like Barbosa, Harrison Barnes, Andrew Bogut, Festus Ezeli, Justin Holiday, David Lee, and Marquise Spates. And I mean, they were all extremely good off the bench, and I mean, that's actually a very solid bench. Harrison Barnes is still a solid player to this day. Andrew Bogut is still a usable center. Festus Ezeli, he hasn't been doing much. Justin Holiday is a very good 6-man to come off your bench. Barbosa at the time was a very good defensive player, very good player off the bench. Marquise Spates, he could kind of shoot the ball a little bit. He was just a good big man to have, good veteran. But then, even you look at what they had in their historic 73-9 season. Now, yes, they didn't win the finals, but they probably should have, as they were up 3-1. You put them in that situation, they probably would have won again. But even in their 73-9 season, they were able to return everybody. But they also added Harrison Barnes, Kevon Looney, and Ian Clark. And I mean, they did return everybody, but the only players they lost were, I'm pretty sure, Lee and Barnes. But I mean, when you look at all the people that they added, that is crazy how good that bench was when they had players like Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, and Draymond Green on their starting 5 to support them. And when you have players like that coming off your bench, when you have a beast of a starting lineup or a beast of a trio like they had at the time, I mean, that would be dominant, and they showed, as they only lost 9 games that year. But then you just look at Boston, though. Boston has the same thing. A beast of a starting lineup, but their bench is almost as good as some team starters. Terry Rozier last year showed he was a beast. Marcus Morris, Semi Ojeleye, Daniel Theis, and Aaron Baines, all of them showed that they are very solid players and that they can play on this team. Aaron Baines could probably start for a few teams. Terry Rozier could definitely start for a lot of teams. Daniel Theis might be able to start for a few teams. Ojeleye, he's more of a perennial bench player, but still a very good player off the bench. So, I mean, the Boston Celtics probably have the best bench in the NBA, and when the Golden State Warriors were dominating, they had one of the best benches in the NBA. So, I mean, you just have to look at it. Boston Celtics bench, and they're probably going to stay together for a long time, plus the starting lineup, that you can, when you have a beast of a bench and a beast of a starting lineup, hey, I mean, you're most likely going to have a lot of success in the playoffs because you can rest your starters when you're winning by a lot. You can have trust in your bench to come in crucial moments in the game when you need to get your starters rest and everything. So, I mean, they're going to be able to have a ton of success, and they're just built like the Warriors were when they were dominating. Now, I don't think they're going to be as dominant as the Warriors by any means, but still, their team is built very similar to how Golden State's was. Now, for my third and final reason, they're going to bloom when the Golden State Warriors are out. Because y'all might be like, yeah, alright, all this is great, but they have to get through a team called the Warriors to win the NBA Finals. But when you just look at it, it took the Warriors 3 years of being together for their big three of Draymond, Klay, and Steph. It took them 3 years of being together and playing together to get to their first championship and win their first championship. And this Celtics core that they currently have has only been together for 2 years now. And I mean, plus they're still extremely young. That's just like, if you go 3 years into the future, the youngest player on the Golden State Warriors roster, like core of players they have right now, excluding DeMarcus Cousins, will be 31 years old, and Steph Curry and Durant will be 33 years old. But then you look at the Celtics in 3 years, if you take out Horford, who's the oldest player by far on their core, when you take Horford out, the oldest person in the Celtics big core is going to be 31. The youngest player on the Warriors will be 31. So when the oldest player on the Celtics is only going to be 31, which is Gordon Hayward, and the youngest is on the Warriors, I mean the oldest on the Warriors, youngest on the Warriors core is going to be 31. Well, I mean, you're going to be blooming while they're starting to regress. And then you have two players in Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum who will be under the age of 25, and Kyrie will only be 29. So 3 of the biggest parts of their core right now will be under the age of 30. Gordon Hayward would be pretty much entering his prime. The only player that will be out of the league or pretty much retired at that point is going to be Al Horford. And I mean, he's very important, but he's probably the least important player out of everybody in their core. So I mean, that is a big thing. And then the Warriors, they're either going to break up or they're going to stay together, but they're going to be starting to regress. I mean, once you get to 33, 34, 35, that's when you start to digress, and that's when Curry and Kevin Durant will probably start to digress. And then Klay Thompson, and you add in the next 5 years, he'll be out. But I mean, once Steph Curry and Durant go, I don't think Klay and Draymond are going to be able to carry that team, and they're going to start falling. And once they fall, it opens up the door for the Boston Celtics to bust through, and now you have legit chances of winning the NBA title when you're all entering your prime. So I mean, yeah, with all these reasons, I think they could definitely be next dynasty and the next dominant franchise like the Golden State Warriors. But unfortunately, guys, I'm here for videos. So comment below. Do you agree with me? Do you think the Boston Celtics could be the next Golden State Warriors and be as dominant as they were? I want to hear all your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. Have any video ideas you want to see me make, comment those up below as well. And I hope you liked the video. And if you did like the video, hit the like button and subscribe button. It would mean the world to me. And I have to thank y'all for all the support y'all been showing. As I mean, we're at, I think, 962 subs. We're literally 40 less than 40 subs, my fault, away from 1,000. And guys, I've been grinding these videos out. It's literally 4 in the morning right now, 4:30, and I'm just grinding these videos out. I want to hit this so bad. I want this to be it so bad. Like, you don't understand how bad I want this YouTube thing to work out. And y'all have been helping me. You know, God's been blessing me, putting all these things in my position, putting like all these blessings in my hands. We got to make these videos for you guys. Oh, He blessed me to put y'all in position to hit the subscribe button. I cannot thank y'all enough. I can't thank Him enough. I can't give enough praise to God. I mean, everything has just been going so good, and I'm gonna keep grinding, try to keep it up. And trust me, guys, I'm not gonna stop as long as y'all are showing support. And even if y'all weren't, I'd still probably be grinding these videos out every day. So I mean, just thank y'all so much. I can't thank y'all enough. And I hope you have a blessed day, because I have a blessed day, so you need to have a blessed day. See you in tomorrow's video. Goodbye. Boo. Blah, blah, blah.